welcome to The Honest Piece by Mad Gorilla. I'm Dan, your host. I know you're going to say, where have you been, Dan? Well, there's a couple of good reasons. One is depression, and I'm sure you can all relate. If you're looking to improve, you've got to find different ways to change your mindset, okay? And for a few months, especially around the holidays, I got pretty depressed. Matter of fact, I found myself just sleeping a lot and just trying to forget. Honestly, I just wanted to be left alone. I didn't want to do anything. I procrastinated in everything that I'm doing, and eventually that stuff catches up, and um, you have to take action because life just doesn't stop, right? As well, on the other side of that coin, while I've been depressed, I've also been searching for reasons and things that would help improve my mindset. Now, I've told you before that I see a therapist, and that helps, and it doesn't hurt to have someone that's on your side, like your wife or your spouse or whatever that is in your life, whatever meaning that, whoever that is, right? Mine is my wife, and I have a couple of friends out there that reach out and have understood where I've been. Um, there for a while, I was pretty suicidal. I just did not want to exist. And so things have changed for me recently. And I'm currently on the path of losing weight and trying to better my health, as well as trying to improve my mindset. And we had a recent breakthrough at one of my therapy sessions, and we're looking to explore that a little bit more. So I feel that is going to uh, take a huge weight up off of my shoulders and close some of the doors in my mind that have been open for so long. So I'm glad that you're still here. If you still are, I hope that you come back and we can continue this journey together. Because honestly, I created this for me as a way to improve my way of life, but I understood that it could help yours as well. So, I've always talked about things that I read and come across, and I'd love to share them with you. And this was a post that I came across, and I'd like to share it with you. So, if you would, please sit back, put your headphones on if you've got them, turn off the noise around you, and sit in a quiet place and listen to what I'm about to read you, okay? George Orwell once said, "The most terrible loneliness is not the kind that comes from being alone, but the kind that comes from being misunderstood. The loneliness of standing in a crowded room, surrounded by people who do not see you, who do not hear you, who do not know the true essence of who you are. And in that loneliness, you feel as though you're fading, disappearing into the background until you are nothing more than a ghost, a shadow of your former self." End quote. Now, it goes on further in this post that I'd like to read some more. It's that soul deep ache of being surrounded by people, friends, family, colleagues, yet feeling completely invisible. You may smile, nod, and go through the motions, but inside you feel a sense of isolation that words can't fully capture. You feel as though no one truly gets you, as if the truest parts of you are hidden, left unrecognized, while the world only acknowledges the version of you that fits in. This kind of loneliness hits hard because it isn't about the absence of people, it's about the absence of connection. And I'd like to stop right there real quick because one thing that I've done with my wife is anytime that I feel that I miss her, I've always told her that I feel disconnected. And my wife is always very open to hearing that and listening to what I have to say. And at that moment, whatever's going on, my wife is giving me that time to be able to talk, and she is also providing me feedback. We could be in the middle of watching TV, We could be in the middle of just doing something that maybe both of us enjoy doing. Who knows? But the beautiful thing about it is that my wife always gives me the floor. And that's what I just love so much about her, because she's always willing to hear me out. Sometimes it may be redundant, sometimes it may be frustrating, sometimes it may be too much, but my wife never indicates that. She's always just willing to hear me out because I'm a very detail oriented person. I always have to speak. I always seem like I'm talking too much. But her giving me that opportunity to get it off my chest, and she's learned over the years that me providing details is just the way I am. It's just the way I'm wired. So it's never been about anything other than just telling you how I've arrived to this decision or this position or situation or whatever it is. It's just who I am. So if you have that, you're lucky. If not, find that someone. There is someone out there for you to talk to and have that certain connection with. So let's continue. You crave to be seen for who you really are, to have someone understand your soul's language, your quirks, your dreams, and the complexities of your heart. But when you're misunderstood, it feels as if there is an unbridgeable gap between your inner world and the outside one. It's like standing behind a glass wall, desperately hoping someone will look through and truly see you, only to realize they're gazing right past you. Now, in that space of feeling unknown, you start to question yourself. You wonder if you should change, if you should become what the world expects or desires, just to feel a hint of acceptance. But even then, the loneliness doesn't vanish, it only grows. Because the deeper tragedy is the slow fading of your own essence, the parts of you that start to hide or let go of simply to belong. You become a shadow, a ghost of the vibrant self you once were, drifting silently, holding on to hope that one day someone might understand. What makes this kind of loneliness so painful is that it's not just longing to be loved, it's the longing to be known and loved for being known. For someone to look at the parts of you that are messy, complicated, and even broken, and to say, I see you, I understand, and I'm here. It's the yearning for someone to hear your heart's quietest whispers and to feel the depths of your soul without judgment or expectation. And I'm lucky to have that within my wife and within a couple of other friends that I do have that constantly are trying to work past this chaos within me. Yet, even in that terrible loneliness, there's a quiet strength. There's a resilience in holding on to your essence even when it feels invisible. There's courage in keeping your light alive, in refusing to let the world's misunderstanding extinguish the fire within you. You may feel unseen, but the truth is, your uniqueness, your complexity, is what makes you extraordinary. Somewhere, someone will value that. And until then, you can and you should value that. Sometimes the journey through being misunderstood leads to a deeper understanding of yourself. It teaches you to embrace who you are, even if the world isn't ready to. It invites you to find peace in your own company, to nurture the parts of yourself that feel lonely and unacknowledged. And in time, you may discover those right connections. The ones that see you, hear you, and know you come when you least expect them. So hold on. Keep your essence alive. Refuse to become a shadow, even if that means standing alone for a little while, and some of you may have been doing it for a long time. Your true self deserves to be celebrated. And through the wait, and though it may not be long, and may be, who knows, the beauty of fully being known is worth every moment. Your people, the ones who truly understand your soul, are out there, and when they find you, the terrible loneliness will start to fade. You'll realize that your essence was never meant to be hidden. It was always meant to shine. So ask yourself, what would it mean to you to be truly known and understood by someone. I can tell you that it feels good to be seen. It feels good to be heard because I can tell you that I experience that regularly. Although it hasn't fully wiped away the things that I deal with deep inside, some of the troubled uh, childhood memories that I have, some of the deep inner scars and wounds that just have not healed or have, but because they're so tough and so rigid, they still exist and I still feel them and I still see them. Okay? I don't know how to help you get past some of those. All I know is that I can help you try to search for answers, okay? Because I'm only one person and I'm desperately searching as well. But how great would it be to just do it together and to not feel alone? We sit here and think about all of these broken things that we have, but something comes along or someone comes along and they just seem to fit together and you know how to. It's like you had a best friend that you hadn't talked to in 10 or 20 years or something, and you just picked up where you left off. You know, those are the those are the moments that you really cherish, but you can't be waiting around. You have to constantly be searching for ways to get better, right? It's been hard, okay? You're going to have to breathe. You're going to have to find something to do. If you're having to do this on your own for right now, just as it said in that read that I just did, one of the things I just recently picked up was building Legos. And yeah, you're saying a 51-year-old man building Legos? I have a lot of memory in those Legos, a lot of memories, because I built them with my children. And those were some of the best moments of my life, was spending time with my boys and building them. What I've realized is that it is helping some of my anxiety. It is helping me to breathe a little, to stop and focus, because there'll be times I'll be sitting on the couch or I'll be just daydreaming and I'm letting all of that stuff creep in for no reason. Excuse me. For no reason. And it's not good because idle time is not good for an idle mind. Okay? You got to find something to fill your time. Find a hobby. Go for a walk. Adopt a dog and train it. Okay? That's one of the things we just recently did. I'm not saying that's. I've got a lot of stuff going on, but we just recently adopted a dog, and I can't begin to explain to you how incredible this dog is, and how incredible he makes me feel, and how incredible it is to see his interaction with my family because he was meant to be here. It's like he has been every animal that we've ever had in our home combined, and he's bringing us so much joy, and he's really just he's part of that equation that fills some of that void, some of that thing that we're missing, because I feel like he's an important part of our circle. And I love that. So find something to do. Pick up a guitar, play a drum set, learn the piano, sing, um, learn how to knit, learn how to build something, do some carpentry work, um, ride a bike, do something, okay? I love to listen to music. I have music in my vehicles. Um, I have a set of headphones that I love to have because I get these headaches that are just excruciating, um, and anxiety. I listen to a lot of binaural beats. So that is alpha, beta, delta and theta waves, as well as some different things that will help just calm the anxiety. And I listen to a lot of that on Spotify because, it isn't always about listening to music that just makes me feel mad at the moment or feel lonely or feel sad or even feel good. Sometimes I just need to just you just breathe for a minute, right? One thing that you can be for someone is just be there. Be present in the moment. You Unless you are someone that is suffering from depression or suffering from high anxiety, that may be difficult to understand. But for people who overthink, everything is critical. They're not just looking at what you are saying and listening to that. They are looking at your mood, at your mannerism, your body language. They're looking into your eyes. They're listening to the tone of your voice. There are many different things that are going on in that person's mind. But the most important thing that you can do is just be there. One of the things that I've learned recently is, it's part of the 12-step program for Alcoholics Anonymous, I'm sorry, AA. Now, I'm not an alcoholic. I don't drink. I may have a beer with a steak when I have one, but I'm not a social drinker. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs. None of that. I just didn't find the need in having that in my life. But the thing is that I'm addicted to um, knowing where I stand with people, I guess, because I really just love being around the people that I love being around. And if I feel disconnected from that, sometimes I make it known, sometimes I don't. With my wife, I'm able to tell her. It's my kids, I'm able to tell them. But for other people, it's difficult. Even when I'm staring at their name on my phone and I want to send them a text message that says, "Hey, I was just thinking about you and I just wanted to say hi." Sometimes those moments are just hard for me. I don't know why. It's so stupid, right? But the one thing is that presence can mean so much more than you think it is. When you are feeling invaluable and someone is there for you, no words really even have to be spoken. It can just be your presence. So be that light for that person. If you truly love them, you will be. You you'll do what you need to do, okay? Because it'll be worth it. That person that's suffering, the person that you're wondering why they are struggling so hard, that person is going to love you so hard, so deep, that they will spend the rest of their life trying to figure out how they were even worthy of you in the first place. But they'll be extremely loyal, okay? Don't forget that. Be present. I had written this and shared it with a bunch of my friends, and so I'd like to share it with you. And it's not something that you don't already know, but there may be some questions in here that you may not or have not given any thought to. Everyone will go through some hard times at some point. Life isn't easy, right? But here's something to think about. Did you know that the people that are the strongest are usually the most sensitive? Did you know the people who exhibit the most kindness are the first to get mistreated? Did you know the ones who take care of others all the time are usually the ones who need it the most? And did you know that the hardest things to say are "I love you," "I'm sorry," and "help me"? Sometimes just because a person looks happy, you have to look past their smile just to see how much pain they may be in. There's another one I'd like to share with you that was written by Ernest Hemingway, and he wrote, "The hardest lesson I've had to learn as an adult is the relentless need to keep going, no matter how shattered I feel inside." End quote. And when I saw that, there was a post that followed it, and I'd like to continue by sharing. This truth is both raw and universal. Life doesn't pause when our hearts are heavy, our minds are fractured, or our spirits feel like they're unraveling. It keeps moving, unrelenting, unapologetic, demanding that we move with it. There's no time to stop, no pause for repair, no moment of stillness where we can gently piece ourselves back together.